Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another anime movie review, to which I'll be covering Black Clover, Sword of the Wizard King. So the next thing I'll be covering is the cast of characters that are in this story. First we have Conrad, Julius, Yami, Mary Leona, Yuno, Asta, Licht, Nacht, Charmy, Noel Silva, Princia, Finri, Bunny, Edward, Testa, Millie, Maxwell, Vermilion, Zora, Luck, Jack the Ripper, Charlotte, Giordano, Mary Williamson, Vanessa, Nero, Gordon, Lieb, Klaus. We also have Dorothy, Kaiser, the Black Bulls, and the Golden Dawn, plus also members of the Magic Knights and their squads. The location that this takes place is in the Clover Kingdom. The time period that this takes place, we also get 10 years ago in the past, as well as 10 years ago into the present. So moving into the first part, it took about 38 minutes just to get through the first act. So I've tried to break this down as much as possible so I can get through it as quick as possible. So the story begins with a flashback 10 years ago in the past, which we have the Wizard King Conrad go against Julius and his evil intentions for the kingdom, to which they end up stopping Conrad and delaying his plans, to which Julius plays a big part in that. And in the process you also get to see a potential item called the Imperial Sword. As we jump into the present, we start to see Yuno in the Clover Kingdom arena to go up against Asta, who is a masked figure walking, while shadowy figures start to appear and begin to make their presence known in the arena, with the return of Conrad to the Clover Kingdom. Conrad confronts Julius again, but also pointing out his changes as Asta and Yuno work together to outsmart the enemy and the opposition. Noel Silva, along with Yuno and the other, trying to help out Julius, and Conrad, using the sword, turns the arena into a flying fortress, and the Black Bulls look to head out to catch up with Nero as they go to like one of the bases that are in the story. We do see some small fights take place between characters, whilst also some characters are trying to get away. So whilst at Lab 0, we start to move into Act 2. So jumping into Act 2 with Asta in the clutches of Conrad, also gets away with the help and rescue of members or teammates of the Black Bulls as they attempt to escape from his clutches and move into the next line of things that they plan to do. And Yuno also distracts Conrad to causing any more harm towards Asta. So Conrad looks to the fusion process with his allies that he's brought with him, who are also former Wizard Kings. And we end up eventually at the Golden Dawn shelter, to which Asta is there, and plans are beginning to be made in relation to how to counter this opponent, as some of the people's morals wane. Asta calls for the Magic Knights to team up together to go up against Conrad. Not long after that, we have the main Magic Knights, who sort of like head the Magic Knight squads, start to turn up, whilst some have been captured with Conrad, and they plan to head into the fortress But before that happens, they need to work on regaining the Black Bull's squad hideout or headquarters so that they can begin to head to the fortress. And that takes a little bit of help with some of the teams that have been put together by the leaders. Whilst this occurs, there is a leading up to the Magic Knights and their plans to go up against Conrad, as they end up breaking through the barrier with Yuno and Asta. Asta goes after Conrad to help, whilst Yuno helps to go save the friends, but not without a fight. The Black Bulls also go against one of Conrad's allies to defeat them. Keeping Act 3 short here, with Yuno and the other hostages freed, they move into position to help Asta out, as Asta goes out to counter Conrad. Mary Leona ends up defeating her opponent, and the Black Bulls defeat their opponents as things move forward towards the end of the story. I won't cover the rest, but I will admit that there is actually a nice post-credit spoiler in relation to this. So, jumping into the afterthoughts, this movie had a lot of great moments from the past to the present. The villains felt thought out, and it was great to see the heroes of the Clover Kingdom work together against the threat of Conrad and his allies. To add on top of that, there was incredible fights throughout the movie. Conrad reminded me a little bit of Krollo, and his allies reminded me a little bit of the Akatsuki, but I really enjoyed their characters. But also throughout this movie, we also got to learn a little bit about the first Wizard King in this story. So for my rating, for the main characters, I give an 8.5 out of 10. For the supporting characters, I give an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed the animation in this story, to which I give a 7.5 out of 10. But for the story overall, I give an 8.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.